So over the past few weeks, we have seen weakness in the tech sector. In the US market as well as the Singapore market, most of the tech stocks have sold off by more than 5 to 10% due to the Federal Reserve coming out and saying that they might kind of like hike rates a little bit more aggressive, right? Kind of like, raising the peak of the Fed fund rates from the current about 5% to like more than 5%. So now currently the Fed fund rate is at about 4.5%, and we are kind of like expecting about 2 more rate hikes at about 0.25% each. But now with the Fed coming out and saying that they want to raise the peak more, right, due to inflationary pressures still staying high, that is where many of those tech stocks got hit as well as in the Singapore market, right? So what are some of the top Singapore tech stocks that many people are watching that you could potentially ride to get a rebound, or maybe you want to be careful because we could potentially still see more weakness, especially if there are still signs of a downtrend. Hey guys, Joey here, top tier MyZeal trader in Phillip Securities, and in this video, right, we'll be covering the top most popular Singapore tech stocks, and these are the stocks right over here. You can see it's trading right now live, all right, and AEM, one of those popular tech stocks, trading at about 2.85. This one stocks we'll look at. We look at Franken, one of those popular one, UMS, iFast, one of those that were quite strong, rebounded, but now it seems like a little bit of weakness is coming back. We look at ISDN as well as Venture, one of those heavyweight tech stocks in the Singapore market, right? So if you don't know what is the outlook, or where are we right now for this 6 Singapore tech stocks, make sure you watch this video all the way to the end, and I would appreciate if you can give me a thumbs up, hit the like button, smash the subscribe button as well. That will really help out the channel, and thank you so much for doing that. So let's dive into the first stock right now, and that would be AEM. Okay, so the first stock is AEM right here, trading at about 2.84. So for AEM, now I mentioned previously that there will still some signs of a downtrend. Unfortunately, we have not really seen a clear sign of a reversal back up yet. We are still looking weak, and I talked about this level more than a month back in the video, right? This $3, right? $3 is a really good support whereby we have been holding above since 2020 for more than 3 years. You can see we come like near it, we rebounded, and over the past 1 week, unfortunately, we have broken down this $3, right? This $3 psychological support level as well. And in terms of the trend, right, we can see that the trend indicators in terms of the longer term moving average, the red line is the 100 days moving average, the blue line is the 200 days moving average. So I mentioned, we are pretty much still in a downtrend because there are still some signs of all these indicators pointing down with prices below it, right? Even in the short term as well, you look at this 20 days moving average is kind of like sloping down. We will kind of like consolidating, finding a little bit of support about 330, 320, but unfortunately that gave way, the $3 gave way as well, and more selling actually came back, right? So now it's like 2.84, right? 2.84 right here, which is still below that $3. So we want to be a bit more careful, I would say, below this $3. So let me just turn this line to red in color, the resistance, because it was originally the support. We're broken down. Now that would be the resistance. So I would say that, downside targets, just want to be a bit careful, right? Anything below $3, because there are still signs of a downtrend. We stay below $3, then we might still see weakness all the way, maybe to like 250 to 230. All right, that could be kind of like the downside targets as long as you stay below $3. So I'm not saying that it will go to like 250 or 230, but as long as you stay below 3, it just looks a little bit weaker, right? Hopefully we do kind of like see a bit of consolidation, we get above that $3, well, great, then that could be a sign of some short-term reversal coming back, maybe all the way back towards then from $3, maybe all the way back to like 350, 360. That could then be the upside, right? If we kind of like break back above that $3 psychological level. Okay, next stock, Franken, one of those stocks that have sold off quite heavily over the past 2 years, right, due to the tech sell down, and we are currently trading at about 1.01, right? So just in January, we started to see many of those tech stocks rebound with the Federal Reserve kind of saying that they might hike less aggressively, and Franken was one of them that rebounded from like about 90 over cents all the way to 120, right? And that was where we were, right, over the past 2 months. You can see we were actually consolidating right here from 110, right, 110 to 120, right, 110 to 120. That was kind of like the 10 cents consolidation phase right here, right, for about 1 month plus, and it was also where we were in November last year. We touched the 120 and kind of like sold off, right? So yeah, we kind of like broke down. Let me just draw it for you. We broke down this same support level at 110. All right, so 120 would be that very key level. I think I talked about it in the previous video as well. 120, you can see a couple of touches, 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, just a few weeks back, we touched a couple of times right here. 120 would be the level that we really want to break above to see the uptrend continue to the next phase, to maybe like 130 or maybe 140 to 150, and then that's where the trend indicators, the moving averages, can all start to turn up clearly, right? But right now we have unfortunately broken back down below 110, and we are back to the previous support level. So what would be the support level? I would say that anything near the 90 cents, you can see 90 cents was where we were somewhere in December. You can see we kind of like touch it, found a bit of support. You can see the 20 days moving average, the short term, started to flatten out right here, and then we rebounded, right? So we are kind of like, heading back to here, right? 90 cents. So let me just draw it for you right here. So 90 cents to 95 cents. I think if you're looking to kind of like get in on dips, if you can hold above 90 cents, it's still okay. 90, 95, we might expect a little bit of bargain hunting coming back again, like what we have seen over the past like 3 to 4 months since like November, December last year, right? So this is Franken, right? It's still kind of like consolidating. We still need, as I say, a very clear sign of a reversal. We want to get past that 120. So hopefully we see a bit of rebound to like 110. We break 110, we go back up to 120, and we come attempt to break this 120 level again. Great. If that happens, that is where the uptrend can really start to firm up all the way to like 140 to 150. Next stock, UMS, one of those popular Singapore tech stocks as well. So we kind of like, rebounded since November, December last year when the tech stocks rebounded as well. And we headed to this level, this resistance level where I mentioned we might see some selling coming back again. Right over here, you can see this was where we were in September. We kind of rebounded right here to 135, 140. And that was where I mentioned that some selling or profit taking can come back, because this was also where that support was, right? In like 2021 was support, now obviously it's resistance, and it was also the resistance somewhere in 2021 right here. So resistance turned support, now we are below it, so it's still resistance, and we kind of headed there, and selling came back, right? So you have got out near there, took some profit, great. All right, we kind of like traded lower with the tech sector selling off over the past 1-2 weeks, and we broke down right back below the 115, right? So 115 was a little bit of a temporary support level. We kind of like broke down, so it's back to the psychological $1 level right here. You can see this was pretty much the psychological support level. And that was when we broke up right over here in November, we started to shoot all the way up and see that move up, right? So $1 would be what we call a psychological resistance. Now it's the support level. So we are seeing a bit of bargain hunting right here from like about $1. You can see we nearly, I think the low was about 102, right? And some bargain hunting happened, right? So 105 right now. So $1 would be this level that we want to watch. I mean, if we can stay above that $1, great. We might see some consolidation, maybe from $1 to 110, 115. I think that could be kind of like the range right up. All right, so let me just draw it for you. That is kind of like the upside from here as you consolidate from $1 all the way to 115 to 110. All right, if $1 breaks, then yeah, unfortunately we may see a bit of weakness back to where we were in October, around that 85 cents. I think that is pretty much where we were in October, November last year. So just watch that. That's where the next support could potentially be. Okay, so we have covered the 3 stocks already: AEM, Franken, and UMS right here. So let's move on to the other 3 Singapore tech stocks, which is iFast, ISDN, and also Venture, one of those popular Singapore tech stocks, right? So let's dive into iFast right now to see where we are and where we could potentially head to. Okay, iFast trading at about $4.83 right here. So since, I would say November, December, when the tech sector started to push up, we broke this $5, right? $5 was this really strong psychological resistance level. We have traded below, for 5-6 months, and we broke it, went all the way up to about 630. You can see we started to see a bit of consolidation. We broke down a little bit of support right here. This is $5.70. That became the resistance, right? So $5 would be a really strong, I would say, psychological support level whereby we want to stay above to see the uptrend take shape, right? So, and that was what happened, right? We kind of like, saw it traded lower, rebounded, went from $5 to $5.70, traded down, and I was kind of like hoping that it might just rebound from $5 again, go up to $5.70, consolidate before making our way up, and the uptrend pushing higher. But what happens is that over the past 1 week, we kind of like saw this $5. Let me just zoom in for you can see that we broke this $5 support level. So now it's like $4.83, right? Which is below $5 still, so not that good. It just shows that sellers are kind of like back to push it back down below the $5 psychological support level, which was that resistance we broke out. Now we are below it. So some signs of weakness in the short term, especially below $5. And also looking at the short term, we want to focus on the 20 days moving average. Look at this green line right here. That is the 20 days moving average. Right now you can see it's kind of like sloping down, prices below it. We broke below $5, so a little bit weaker, I would say, just below 5. We might head to, maybe around that 450, 450 might be a good support. Hopefully we see some support there, we consolidate and we get back above $5, then that would be a good thing for that reversal in the uptrend to really continue back up. Okay, ISDN, right? It was trading at about 55 cents to about that 60 cents. Resistance, you can see there was a bit of consolidation, and unfortunately with, kind of like more aggressive rate hikes news coming in, we broke this support at 55 cents. And we are kind of like heading back towards the previous, right, support level. It was like the resistance right here. You can see a bit of resistance level. We broke up in, in like December, end of December, at 45 cents and went all the way up. So now we are kind of like coming back down to this 45 cent support, whereby some bargain hunting is coming back. So let me just draw it for you. You can see right over here, that would be what we call that support zone, right, which were pretty much the consolidation right here since like June. You can see a couple of rebounds. We broke down, we broke up here, went all the way up, and now we are approaching this 45 cents. So 45 to 48, as we approach there, that is where some bargain hunting can come back again. All right, and take a look at it. You can see that the longer term moving averages in terms of the 200 days moving average, the red line 100 days moving average is right over here as well. It kind of coincides with that horizontal support level. So if we kind of like stay above that 45 cents, you might just consolidate from 45 to 50 up and down, and if we get above 50 cents, so 50 cents may be a psychological resistance as well. If we get above there, great. That's where we can see the rebound maybe towards that 55 cents. So let me just put this in red in color since it's now the resistance level, because we have gone below it. All right, so this is ISDN. Upside could be anything from 45 all the way to 55. I think if you stay above that 45 cents, great. The uptrend still looks quite intact in terms of a reversal slowly starting to happen in the mid to long term. That is still on track if you stay above 45 cents. So for Venture right here, it seems like we have sold off from this very key resistance level that I talk about right here, the $18.60. So just about a month back, I mentioned that we were kind of like heading there, and that's where you want to be careful, because we could potentially see some heavy selling coming back. Why? Because since like last year, you can see we touched like 1, 2, 3, 4 times, 4, 5 times, and we kind of like sold off. It was quite volatile. We sold off quite heavily from $18.60 all the way to like $17 to $16.50. Look at this. This was kind of like the support level, and right now we are back here again. So the support level would be the same thing. Let me just draw back the support since we have came back down. All right, so anything from like $16.50 to $17. So let me just draw it for you. So you can see a couple of rebounds from here, from $16.50 to $17. That is where we could potentially see some bargain hunting. So for those of you who have kind of like took some profit, you got out near that $18.60, $18.50, great. All right, that's where you could potentially time your entry to ride the rebound back up again, maybe all the way to like $18 to $18.50. All right, so yeah, that is pretty much for Venture. All right, we are back to this same support level whereby we were holding above since 2022. In fact, the whole of 2022 we were above it. All right, we started to see a couple of rebounds, and we are back to this attractive bargain hunting zone. All right, guys, so there we have it. I've gone through some of the 6 most popular Singapore tech stocks: AEM, Franken, UMS, iFast, ISDN, and Venture. So I hope you have a clearer idea of where we are for each of these stocks, some of the levels that you want to take note of in terms of the support, whereby some bargain hunting can come back again, or maybe some of those levels whereby you want to take note, whereby you can take some profit, you can sell, you can take partial profit, lock in some profits, because that's where selling can also come back again. Right, so Joey here, thank you so much for watching. All right, if you like this video, go ahead to hit the like button, smash the subscribe button. That would definitely help out the channel, and thank you so much for doing this. And if you want to get some of those ideas much faster, right, by WhatsApp, make sure you come on board as a client of mine in Phillip Securities if you're not yet one, and you are kind of like trading on your own with a broker that don't really send you much ideas, no training, no videos, no WhatsApp, nothing. Then you can check out how you can come on board as a client of mine. Click on the link below or around this video. You can come on board as a client of mine in Phillip, whereby we do share some of those ideas much faster by WhatsApp, right, than it takes to plan, produce, record a video like this. It's much faster by WhatsApp, and that's where you get them some of those ideas as a client of mine in Phillip. Right, so thank you so much for watching. Joey here. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.